Dear viewers, welcome back to English B Honeysuckle Unit 2. We have already watched 3 videos on the folktale, how the dog found himself a new master, part 1, 2 and 3. The remaining part in the unit is the poem The Kite by Behn. Before getting on with today's lesson, The Kite, let us take a note of what we are going to discuss in this video. A few words about the poet, basic concept of a simile, model reading of the text, explanation of the words and expressions, rhyme scheme of today's poem, and answers to the questions in the exercise. So, let's begin with a short biography of the poet. Behn was an American poet. He was born on September 24, 1898 in McCabe, Arizona, United States. He was a teacher who taught writing at the University of Arizona. He founded the Arizona Press in 1960. Behn illustrated many a children's story. His children urged him to write articles for children. It is at their request that Behn started writing for them. He published The Little Hill, a book of poetry for children. He illustrated many of his works and received many art awards. I have discussed about the children's poetry in the previous video on the poem A House, a Home by Lorraine Martha Halley, popularly known as Lorraine M. Halley. In this video, we are going to learn about some art of using words. What do we call this special art of using words? We call it the literary devices. Literary devices are of various types. They serve a lot of purposes. They express our feelings in a completely different way, very effectively. One such device is simile. In this poem, you will see how the poet has used this device. You must have heard or even used expressions like grandma's hair is as white as snow, the little girl is as innocent as a lamb. What we mean here, we compare two things, the hair and snow. The whiteness of hair is compared to that of snow, or the girl's innocence is compared to the innocence of a lamb. We say, Ron jumped like a frog, Lucy ran like a racehorse. What do we actually mean? We compare the frog's jump with that of the boys. Similarly, the girl Lucy's running is compared with horses. That is, Lucy runs really fast. We use words like as if, or like in using this art. Now, a brief introduction to the poem. In this poem that we are going to discuss, The Kite, the poet has given a beautiful picture of a flying kite against a clear sky. His art of using words will remind you of your experience of flying a kite or your memory of enjoying a kite flying. The model reading of the poem. Listen to the reading attentively as I read out the poem. How bright on the blue is a kite when it is new. With a dive and a deep it snaps its tail, then soars like a ship with only a sail. As over tides of wind it rides, climbs to the crest of a gust and pulls, then seems to rest as wind falls. When string goes slack, you wind it back and run until a new breeze blows, and its wings fill and up it goes. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new, but a raggeder thing you never will see when it flaps on a string in the top of a tree. Now the explanation. I have divided the poem into three parts for your understanding the poem easily. The first part is from how bright on the blue to wind falls. The second part is from when string goes to up it goes. And then the third part, that is the rest of the poem. The first part. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new. With a dive and a deep it snaps its tail, then soars like a ship with only a sail. As over tides of wind it rides, climbs to the crest of a gust and pulls, then seems to rest as wind falls. How bright on the blue. It means the sky looks blue when there is no cloud. A new kite looks bright against it. With a dive and a dip, the kite, moves with ease in the air, snaps, makes a cracking sound, soars, flies upward. Sail, a large piece of cloth that catches wind and helps a ship move forward. Tides, rising and falling of waves due to wind. Crest, the highest point, the tip of a wave. Now we can summarize the ideas contained in this part in a few words. The sky looks blue when there is no cloud. A new kite looks bright against it. The kite's tail makes a cracking sound when it twists or turns against the wind with ease and force. Then with the strong wind, it goes high up in the sky in a wavy manner, just like a ship that moves on the ocean. When the wind slows down, it looks as if it has stopped there to rest. The second part. When string goes slack, you wind it back and run until a new breeze blows and its wings fill and up it goes. When string goes slack, what does it mean? When the kite twine or the kite line or the kite string loosens, you wind it back and run. You here is the kite flyer. He runs and rolls it back. The summary. When wind is less, the kite string loosens and the flyer has to roll it back and wait till the favorable wind blows and takes the kite high up. Now the third part. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new, but a ragged thing you never will see when it flaps on a string in the top of a tree. But a ragged thing, a thing that gives a worn out look. You will never see a worse thing. Why? Because the kite that is caught in the treetop gives a forlorn look, a worn out look. Now the summary of the third part. A new kite in the clear sky presents a beautiful sight that wins everyone's heart, but nobody likes it when the same kite is stuck on the top of a tree and gets a worn out look. Now we will discuss about the rhyme pattern of this poem. What is the rhyme pattern of this poem? As we can see here, the first line rhymes with the second, that is blue with new, the third with the fifth, that is dip with ship, the fourth with the sixth, that is tail with sail. The seventh and the eighth lines rhyme together. The word tide at the end of the seventh line rhymes with rides at the end of the eighth line. So, from the first line to the eighth line, the rhyme pattern is AA, BC, BC, DD. Try out in your own way how the rhyme pattern follows in the rest of the poem. Working with the poem. The first question is the listing out the action words with their meanings. Some extras have been given, of course. The action words you have come across are climbs, blows, soars, rides, flaps, falls, and falls. What do they mean? Here I give you the meanings with the words. Climbs, goes up. Blows, hits. Soars, flies high. Rides, mounts. Flaps, flutters. Wags. Falls, drops down. And pulls, tugs or draws. The next question, that is the second question in your exercise. We have already discussed what a simile is. You have also come across a simile in the poem itself. Have you got it? Remember the set of words like a ship. Here the tail of the kite has been compared to the sail of a ship. With that example in mind, try to answer the questions. Of course, I will come to your help, but try for yourself first. He runs like, what do you guess? He runs like a racehorse. What does it mean? He runs very fast. He eats like a bird. It means he barely eats enough. If you say he eats like a pig, it means he eats too much. She sings. What do you say? Like a nightingale. That means she sings so sweetly. It shines like a diamond ring, so bright. It flies like a kite. So, try to find some more examples like this that you use in your daily use. This much for today. We'll meet in the next class.